Hi. I guess if you're watching this, you probably expect some kind of dramatic reveal or confession. And you'd be right. I'm doing this because I can't carry it anymore. The weight is crushing me, and I need to say it out loud. To someone, anyone, even if it's just this camera. I cheated on my husband. And not just with anyone. I cheated on Mark with his best friend, Liam. Mark is everything a woman could want in a husband. He's kind, he's steady, he's got a laugh that can fill a room and make you feel safe. He's been my rock for 10 years. We built a life together, a home, dreams, a future, everything. He trusted me implicitly. He still does, which just makes this all the more agonizing. He never gave me a single reason to doubt him, never a reason to feel unloved. In fact, he loved me fiercely, unconditionally. And maybe that's part of the problem. Maybe I took that for granted. I knew he was always there, always reliable. Perhaps I stopped seeing him, really seeing the effort he put in, the quiet strength he provided. And Liam has been in our lives for almost as long as Mark and I have been together. They've been best friends since college, practically brothers. Liam was always the easygoing one, the life of the party, but also incredibly thoughtful beneath the surface. He was practically family. He was at all our dinners, our holidays, our barbecues. He was the person Mark would turn to for advice. The person I would turn to when I wanted to plan a surprise for Mark, or when I just needed to vent about something silly. We had this comfortable, easy friendship, the three of us. Or so I thought. I don't know exactly when things started to shift. There wasn't some big, dramatic moment, no lightning bolt. It was insidious. Subtle. Looking back, maybe I was feeling a little stagnant. Not with Mark necessarily, but with myself. Life had become predictable, comfortable, safe. Perhaps too safe. And maybe I subconsciously yearned for some thing that made me feel alive again. Something sharp, exciting, something that brought back that initial flutter of nerves, that thrill of the unknown. It started with little things. Lingering eye contact when Mark was in the other room, a gaze that held a different kind of intensity. A hand on my lower back for a second too long when we were laughing at one of Liam's jokes. Private conversations that seemed to drift into more personal territory than they should have. We'd talk for hours sometimes, late into the night, after Mark had gone to bed, about our dreams, our disappointments, things I hadn't even shared with Mark in years. Liam listened, really listened. He made me feel seen, truly seen, in a way I realized I hadn't felt in a long time. It wasn't that Mark didn't listen, it was just different. Liam brought out a side of me I thought I'd lost, a more adventurous, playful self. He made me feel like the most interesting person in the room, even if it was just our living room. It was that feeling of being newly pursued, the intensity of someone else's gaze. That was so intoxicating. The night it happened, it was just a normal Friday. We were at our place, just the three of us, drinking wine, playing board games. Mark, bless his heart, got sleepy and went to bed early. Sad, you two carry on, he said with that easy, trusting smile of his. Don't wake me up. Frustrated, he trusted us implicitly, without a shadow of a doubt, and we shattered that trust minutes later. Liam and I stayed up. The conversation got deeper, more intimate. We were sitting on the couch, side by side, the wine bottle almost empty. He was talking about something personal, about a past heartbreak. And I found myself reaching out, putting my hand on his arm, a gesture of comfort. He looked at my hand, then up at my eyes. And the air just changed. It thickened. There was this unspoken understanding, this current that had been building for months, finally reaching its peak. His gaze dropped to my lips. My heart was pounding like a drum against my ribs, a warning signal I deliberately ignored. And then he leaned in. Slowly. I had every chance to pull away, to stop it, but I didn't. I leaned in too. The kiss was electric, terrifying. It wasn't gentle or hesitant. It was hungry, desperate. A shockwave went through my entire body. It was wrong. So incredibly, catastrophically wrong. And yet, for that brief, insane moment, it felt so incredibly, thrillingly right. Every nerve ending was on fire. It was the most exhilarating and terrifying thing I had ever done. The ultimate forbidden fruit. The second his lips left mine, the guilt slammed into me. A physical blow, sickening and immediate. I pulled back, my breathing ragged. He looked at me, his eyes wide, full of a mix of fear and something else. Desire, confirmation. We shouldn't have done that, I whispered, my voice barely there. He just nodded, his gaze still locked on mine, but neither of us moved. Neither of us ran from the feeling or from each other. And that was the start. It wasn't a one-time mistake. It became a secret life. We told ourselves it would be just that once. Then, just one more time. Then it was a furtive touch when Mark wasn't looking. A stolen kiss in the kitchen when he was in the garden. Hushed phone calls late at night. Clandestine meetings that felt like something out of a spy novel. The thrill was intoxicating. The danger, the secrecy, the adrenaline of almost getting caught. It was a potent cocktail. It made me feel alive in a way I hadn't felt in years. Like I was walking on a tightrope, high above a roaring crowd. Every step a risk. Every successful step a rush of pure, raw exhilaration. But beneath that thrill, a corrosive acid was eating away at me. Guilt. It was always there, a constant companion. The adrenaline would pump through me, making my hands shake, my heart race. It was a terrifying, exhilarating high. But the crash afterwards, when I was back in mine, I own bed, next to Mark, was brutal. The guilt wasn't just a feeling, it was a physical ache, a knot in my stomach that wouldn't loosen. Tearful. Every time Mark looked at me with love in his eyes, every time he wrapped his arm around me, every time he mentioned our best friend Liam, a sharp pang of pain shot through me. I felt like a monster, a liar, a betrayer of the highest order. How could I do this to the man who loved me unconditionally? To Liam, who was supposed to be his brother, his closest confidant? The lies became a tangled web. Where was I going? Who was I with? I became an expert at evasion, at changing the subject, at acting perfectly normal. It was exhausting. There were so many close calls. One time, Mark almost walked in on us in the garage, narrowly missing us. Another time, he picked up my phone and saw a text from Liam that, out of context, looked innocent, but my heart nearly stopped. The paranoia was constant. I lost weight. I couldn't sleep properly. My appetite vanished. I was a wreck, held together by sheer willpower and the twisted thrill of the deception. I started to hate my own reflection. The eyes looking back at me seemed hollow, tired, dishonest. Every casual touch from Mark felt like a searing brand of my hypocrisy. Our home, once a sanctuary, became a cage of my own lies. The guilt wasn't just a general feeling. It was specific, visceral moments that ripped through me. Like on our anniversary, when Mark gave me a handmade card, reminiscing about all our beautiful memories, and I had to force a smile, feeling like a vile hypocrite, unworthy of his devotion. Or when Mark would proudly tell Liam about some achievement at work, and Liam would look at me, a silent, knowing conversation passing between us, a shared secret that felt like a knife twisting in Mark's unsuspecting back. I saw the pure, innocent trust in Mark's eyes, and I hated myself for shattering it, even if he didn't know it yet. Each loving gesture from Mark felt like a fresh, festering wound. He deserved so much better than this. I started to resent Liam too, not for being involved because I was an active participant, but for being a constant, tangible reminder of my own weakness, my own terrible choices. The thrill had complete. Lie evaporated, replaced by a suffocating dread. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't look Mark in the eye without wanting to crumble into a million pieces. Crying. The secret wasn't making me feel alive anymore. It was killing me, slowly and painfully. I was a shadow of myself, trapped in a nightmare of my own making. I knew I couldn't live like this anymore. Something had to give. I felt like I was drowning, gasping for air, and the only way out was to shatter everything, to let the truth explode. I broke it off with Liam. It was painful, ugly, full of arguments and accusations. He didn't want to, begged me to reconsider, said it would destroy everything, but it already had destroyed everything. It had destroyed me. I told him I was going to tell Mark. He pleaded with me not to, said it would ruin not only our lives, but his friendship with Mark. But what was there left to ruin? So here I am, sitting in front of this camera, trying to find the words, trying to gather the courage, because I can't keep this secret from Mark. He deserves to know. He deserves the truth, no matter how much it breaks him, no matter how much it breaks me. I don't know what will happen after this. I don't know if he'll ever forgive me. I don't know if Liam will ever forgive me, or if Mark will ever forgive Liam. I don't know if I'll ever forgive myself. But living with this lie, pretending everything is okay, That's a worse punishment. And than any fallout I could possibly face. Tearful. This is my confession. The first step, I hope, towards some kind of atonement, some kind of peace, even if it costs me absolutely everything.